What's up, everybody?
Welcome.
Yeah.
Episode 7, 007.
007, because we're numbering it. I started off with 001. The trailer I did 000-trailer.
Yeah.
And each episode I just do 00. Because the plan is to get up over 100.
Eventually.
And then if we get up to 1,000, then that's,
Yeah, that's further down.
At that point, I'm not going to be
that
stressed out.
That might take a few years.
Just a couple.
Yeah, just some time.
Nigel he's been doing 3 years of it, or almost 4 years of his podcast, and they're just over 100.
Like WTF, he's been doing it since like 2011, and he's like at 1,100 or something.
Yeah.
So 13 years or so.
Yeah. Well, when you only do one a week, right?
Well, he does 2 a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
But still, Jesus, it's a lot. It's a lot of talking.
But I know, like when I was listening to Keith and the Girl, it was they did 4 episodes a week.
Wow.
So I remember like one of the last episodes I probably listened to was like
I wouldn't want to hear myself talk that much.
Well, they may not go back and listen to their stuff.
Yeah.
And they, like I said, I know I've mentioned this before. Their Friday episodes, they would record at midnight their time and do it and record it live.
Oh, that's cool.
So you could go on to their website, and listen and watch, because then it would be video as well. So it was really cool.
That's cool.
So, all right. Anyway.
Well, let's get into it, man.
Yeah. The 007.
007.
We should probably start off with some.
How about a beer?
There you go.
It's about that
yeah,
time.
he said we need to turn that up.
Oh, we do?
Yeah. Nigel's like, you need to turn that thing up. Hit it again.
Let's try it again.
How about a beer?
That sounded better.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, I can fix it in post too.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll have these dialed in, and I won't fix shit in post.
Yeah. Well, we don't edit, so.
I don't edit.
You don't edit. I don't do it at all.
I don't edit. I will go in and make adjustments.
Yeah.
Like I said, like adjusted the music level, like if it
Yeah.
sounds too low or too high.
Well, we have a plethora of beer.
Oh yeah. Well, we had some beer karma.
We had some beer karma.
Yeah. From some of our friends at Martin City.
Yeah. Do we want to crack one of those open first?
You go, knock yourself out, dude. I don't care.
Well, I guess I'm closest, so it's up to me.
Yeah, you're the one to buy the beer. So we got plenty of glasses. I mean, I say we have plenty of glasses. We have 4 rounds of glasses. That way we're not reusing glasses quickly. So Connor's looking through the beers. And
I found one.
Ooh, yeah. I see.
Irish High Five.
I did. I feel like I've enjoyed that one before.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Irish High Five is from Martin City.
Red Pale Ale.
Yeah. And
6%.
See, that seems high.
Yeah, it does. I didn't quite get a good open on this.
I was like, why did you stop pouring? All right. So what are we going to discuss today, Connor?
We have some topics.
We have some topics. Yeah.
We've got. I can't read what you got written down from over here.
So, one of the last ones we talked about, and I know one of our regulars at the bar made a suggestion on what would be good conversation topics too. Is overrated bands, and I feel like you would be great for this.
Starting off strong. I mean, you would too, man. You know a lot about music.
I know a lot about music, but I also am very odd in my taste in music.
So am I.
So certain things I don't feel like are overrated. I will say one band that I struggle with, there's one song that I enjoy. Thanks, sir.
You're welcome. Cheers.
Cheers. It didn't probably come through on.
Nah, that's okay. I mean, I heard it a little bit. It's a little baby clink.
All right. But one band I always struggle with is Radiohead.
That's fair.
Because to me, they're always depressing.
Well,
I really do like Creep.
Each one of their albums is significantly different than the one before. Because I feel like they influenced so many artists that were then ripping off their sound that they had to go a completely different way with their next record. And their latest one, I forgot the name of it, Moon-Shaped Pools, I think, just kind of sounds like a Radiohead album. It doesn't sound like they're trying to.
Great name though.
Yeah. It's a good record. But that's fair. It's not everyone's cup of tea, and I understand. Like Tom York's voice is very whiny, and Yeah, they can be depressing songs.
But I mean, like Trent Reznor can be that way too with Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
But like, I do enjoy Nine Inch Nails, and I think one of the reasons why I like Nine Inch Nails is because, you know, during the whole Napster thing, you know, where Metallica was being Metallica.
Yeah.
Trent Reznor is like, fuck you all, I'll do what I want. Here's a whole album.
Yeah.
For free.
Well, and System of a Down did the same thing too. Steal this album. Like they were encouraging people to just pirate their shit for free.
Yeah. Because their logic was like, hey, you know what? If we give you this shit to you, like,
you're gonna come pay to see us.
Yeah, you're
like,
gonna come.
We'll get your money eventually.
Yeah. But then you had Metallica. That was.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. They're a bit of an overrated band to me. Metallica.
I think so. I think
once again they influenced a lot of metal bands, and there wouldn't be, you know, metal as we know it without Metallica.
No. So like they were great when they began.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But now they just like, I think, what was it, Garage Inc. or whatever?
When they did all the covers.
Somebody is like, people just hated that album.
And what was the other one? Was it the one
it was like right before that or right after that?
I can't remember.
Saint
Anger.
Yeah,
it was Saint Anger was another one where everyone's just like, kind of a flop.
Yeah, it's like it's starting to sound like dad rock.
Because I'm pretty sure I think that's the record where they were like the theme song to a Mission Impossible movie.
Oh yeah.
And everyone's just like, okay, we're Metallica, you're done. But I don't know, man. There's something
people
to be
will
said
still
for
enjoy
them.
them.
You know, they're still around. Like
they still have their audience.
Yeah.
It's just they're not going to grab the hold of a younger audience.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a band like that, you know, in the same right, I would say like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, they've been around for 40 years.
Yeah,
and
I feel like
they're a stadium act, and people are tired of stadium acts. I feel like, you know, but there's always going to be that person that's like willing to spend $150, $300 to go see this band.
Yeah,
and that's why they only hit, you know, 15, 20 cities whenever they tour.
And, you know, tickets are outrageous.
Yeah.
And I will say, I feel like Red Hot Chili Peppers, like, yeah, they're not the same anymore, but I feel like they did have a little bit of a resurgence with Californication. Cause,
oh, yeah, but
and
I mean, that was 20-something years ago.
That was early 2000s.
Yeah, that was the album, Californication.
Yeah, but then before that, they were solid too, but it felt like, you know, maybe they were starting to go down just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they did the Californication, and it brought them back up.
Yeah.
And then they really haven't. I think they've released some stuff, but it's just.
Yeah, they came out with 2 albums, I think in 22. Because I mean, much like every other, you know, band, musician during COVID, no one could tour, so they were just like in the studio recording.
Yeah. And it's just not hitting the same as it used to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're not. I think they've accepted that, you know, much more like probably like the Rolling Stones. Rolling Stones are who they are.
Yeah.
They're gonna do what they do.
Yeah.
AC/DC is the same way.
Yeah. Although I don't think they tour anymore.
AC/DC?
Yeah, because I think
one of them went to jail, didn't they?
Well, no, it was not Angus Young, but his brother. I can't remember, but his brother died.
Yeah, well, like one got sick and you know, passed away.
Yeah.
And I think one got in some legal trouble.
Malcolm Young? I think it's Malcolm Young. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just, you know, it's one of those bands that it's so funny because their music is so simple, but like it resonates so much with people.
Yeah.
And like that's why they've been so successful.
And maybe this is a good perspective where it's like, okay, yeah, they feel overrated now is because they keep trying to push stuff out.
Yeah.
Where, you know, again, like Rolling Stones, like they're not trying to do anything new.
I just think it's funny that like back in the 80s, early 90s, AC/DC was considered like a metal band.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, to this day, like, no, they've always just been
hard rock.
They're hard rock teetering just rock.
Yeah.
You know? And
metal to me is, I mean, I feel like I really enjoy Hailstorm.
Yeah.
But even that, I don't feel like it's completely metal.
Yeah. Well, metal is, unlike rock and roll, there's so many different like subcategories.
Yeah.
You know, like you have thrash metal.
Well,
you've got death metal, speed metal.
Yeah. Industrial
metal.
Which I'm like, industrial and metal, like
yeah.
What?
Yeah. Like Rammstein is industrial.
Yeah.
You know, but
most people would be like, oh yeah, that's metal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a classification of metal.
Yeah.
So it's like a subgenre, and almost like, you know, with beers, right? You know, where you have obviously you have your ales and you have your lagers, But underneath each one, you have different groups as well.
Yeah.
So then, like, you get into the IPA. Well, then under IPA, you have, New England, West Coast, East Coast, freaking English, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Do they have an India Pale Ale?
An IIPA?
An IIPA?
I doubt
Instead
it.
of a double IPA, it's a double IPA.
No, it'll just be a true
true
India Pale Ale, and not because of how IPAs became popular.
Surely there's a place in India that makes India Pale Ales.
Yeah, a true India Pale Ale.
That's what it's called, true India Pale Ale.
You know what? If anybody from India, which I've looked at the stats, like we don't have anybody listening.
No one's listening from India yet?
Not yet.
What are they doing?
We gotta keep growing.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, definitely.
We're not like I think Rihanna just performed at like the richest man in India's birthday wedding.
Oh, Jesus.
Or not birthday wedding, birthday party for like an extravagant amount of money.
Yeah.
I'm just like, good for her. Yeah, get paid.
Whatever.
Get fucking paid. Who cares?
No shit.
People are like pissed off about it. I'm just like, who fucking cares? Like it's
he
Rihanna.
has the money. It's his money.
Yeah, it's Rihanna. She can do whatever the fuck she wants.
If she didn't want to do it, like, the whole, I'm not going to sell out type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to me, that's not really selling out. Like,
No.
get paid.
Selling out is when you start doing, like, I'm sorry, but the Tech Nine song that he does, Red Kingdom, that shit's so cringy to me.
Yeah.
Like when someone does a song about a local sports, like, whatever, I think that's the cringiest shit in the world.
And, I mean, I do enjoy that song, but you got to figure in 10 years.
Oh, it's not going to age.
It's not going to age.
Like,
no.
is he just going to go in and, like, insert new names every
because
5
he
years
did.
when people leave?
Well, and I feel like that stemmed off of one he did. And I really like Tech Nine. I don't think Tech Nine's overrated. Dude freaking works his ass off.
He does. I don't think anything's really going to top, like, Angelic or Absolute Power.
No.
Killer was good.
Yeah.
But that was when I stopped listening after that record.
I've listened to pretty much all of his stuff, and I know that he's had some stuff in the last couple of years that I've really enjoyed too.
Yeah.
Like Everybody But Me. Like his collab stuff, like when he does something featuring other artists or he's on other artists, those are always freaking great. I mean, he's even done stuff with B.O.B., Eminem, freaking, I mean, hell, he did that one song with The Rock, right?
He did a song with the Insane Clown Posse too.
Yeah, that one I can leave. But he did, the Red Kingdom thing, like, he did that one. I feel like that stemmed from, he had kind of done something like that for the Royals as well.
Yeah.
But that one I feel like holds up better because it's not so specific to
I still think it's
numbers and names and stuff.
I just think it's so, like, cringy and pandering.
Well, I feel like both of those actually stem off from one of his early songs, which was Casey Anthem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that one's still a solid.
Yeah, no, that's a good song.
Because it's very KC, Kansas City specific.
Yeah.
Where he's talking about streets and stuff, but like none of that's going to change.
Yeah.
Streets don't go away. I mean, they do, but not in the same way that players.
Yeah, I mean, where the streets have no name. Just like Bono said.
Talk about overrated.
Talk about overrated. Yes.
You two, I cannot stand.
They have like 3 or 4 songs that I enjoy.
Exactly.
And it was, they were like my mom's favorite band, so like that's the only reason that I'm ever gonna like listen to those songs. But I wouldn't go to, they were recently in Vegas. I wouldn't pay the whatever $100 amount of dollars to change that. That was weird.
It was very.
That was very Pocahontas-y, like Disney
Titanic,
princess.
like.
Yeah. What is this now?
We're still on the VHS one. It's called High Risk. I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Slapping the bass.
I mean, talk about another band that a lot of people view as overrated is Rush.
And I don't want to be a part of associating with those people.
No, and maybe that's one of those things where it's like that's your dad's music, U2 and Rush, where again it's that group, but then they keep trying to force their stuff out there. So people like our age view those groups like that as overrated. Where like my kids might view like Linkin Park as overrated.
Yeah,
I might want to fight them.
Yeah,
for thinking that, but
I understand, it's kind of the same situation with Radiohead. People just can't get past Geddy Lee's voice. But, like, when you get past the vocals and listen to the music, it's, like, truly amazing that 3 people can make such a resounding sound.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like, and I've enjoyed some of their stuff, too, and I know I've had some friends that absolutely love.
Oh, I fucking love Rush.
Well, who I was getting to say is Coheed and Cambria.
Oh, I want to get into them because they're also going on tour with Primus.
Oh, nice.
But that was a band when I was in high school. Everyone listened to it, and I was so, like, anti what everyone else was listening to that I'm just like, I don't want to listen to them. I wrote them off.
Well, that was like, I had a bunch of people, like, when I was in high school, it was like Matchbox 20.
Yeah.
I mean, like, which I'm fine with Matchbox 20.
Yeah.
But, like, back when I was in high school, I was also much more into rap and hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
And not so much alternative music.
Yeah.
Which, now that I've gravitated more towards, alternative music. And,
yeah.
I mean, granted, I listen to all sorts of stuff. I mean, I really like electronic music, like EDM and trap and, drum and bass stuff. Like, I'll listen to that just because, to me, it's entertaining, it's different, and
then you don't have to, like, dissect lyrics and try to figure out what are they trying to say. That's why I love about The Offspring so much, is because their lyrics are, like, straight fucking forward.
Oh yeah, there's no guessing. Like,
there's
is there
no
a hidden
guessing.
message?
Yeah, no, it's stories that you just know what the song is about, and it's not like Tool, where it's like this, heady experience where you have to be really, like, you really have to dissect, and it's kind of open to interpretation, which is good, I guess, but I don't always have the capacity to do that, which is why I like listening to Tool, but, like, I can't listen to them all the time because I feel like it's such a cerebral experience, and I don't want to put forth the effort. I'm just like, I just want to listen to music. I don't want to dissect, trying to find my third eye, when I'm listening to progressive metal.
And I feel like a lot of times, like, if I'm listening to a playlist and Tool comes on, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a great song. I'm never going out and looking or searching for Tool music.
Yeah. I'll put them on in the brew house.
Yeah. Like, and I know you have, and I've been in there, and I'm just like there's times, like, I've been back there, and it's just like, you're listening to, like, the whole album. I'm like, what the fuck are you listening to?
How many times have you said that when you've come back and I'm listening to, like, Radiohead or Rush or
almost every damn time,
or
probably.
Primus or some weird shit?
At least once a month.
Yeah. Yeah, just about.
Because at least once a month I'm doing something on a Thursday or Friday in the back, helping Nolan or Nigel take care of something else, and I'm just like, so I spend more time in the back versus the bar.
To?
I'm like, what the hell? But I mean, I know there's been times. That was a nice one.
That was okay.
It was a good start. That's the first one of the.
Yeah, that was the first one.
We're 17 minutes, almost 18 minutes in.
There we go.
First one. I mean, we were bullshitting for 5-10 minutes before we even got started.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to say was, I know there's been times where I would, on Saturdays when I opened, when I was still part-time, and Nolan would brew on Saturday mornings, like, he would just be
fucking rocking out.
I mean, sometimes it was like very angsty music or like hard rap.
Yeah.
And I'd go back and I'd be like,
do you need a hug?
He's like, I'm fine. I'm like, all right.
He says that shit to me, and I'm just like, dude, you listen to, like, heavier stuff than I do.
No shit.
When I'm back here.
Yeah. But then he'll turn around and cause, like, little bitches and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Little bitch boys. Yep.
I've never called him that, but,
Oh, he's called me that.
Maybe I should. I know he's called us that, but I've never said something like that to him.
I've said something like adjacent, but...
Adjacent.
I just usually tell him to shut up or fuck you,
Yeah.
Along those lines.
All right. So what is another band that you feel like is overrated then?
Man, you put me on the spot. I didn't really have time to think about that. See, and that's what's crazy about, like, this answer is, like, it's so subjective, and, like, there's no right or wrong answers.
Well, that's what I was trying to get at.
I feel like if I don't know. I think Avenged Sevenfold's overrated.
I could see that.
I appreciate, like, the musicianship.
And to me, that is metal.
Yeah. I wouldn't classify that as new metal, but I wouldn't know what to classify it as, because it's not thrash.
No.
It's not like, guess just metal, heavy metal. I don't know.
But I have to think it's just, I'd probably classify it as heavy metal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's sometimes some of their stuff may be borderline new metal.
Yeah.
But to me, new metal has a little bit more, I guess, probably electronic.
Yeah.
Backing on it.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed some of their stuff. But yeah, like that's not a group I'm probably gonna go and try and see live or anything like that. Like, I will enjoy their music because like a band that I really like in this moment, metal, and I really enjoy their music, but live, she can belt it, but it sounds like screaming.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes hard to understand. Whereas in like Papa Roach, like they nail both, music aspect and live performances.
Yeah.
Freaking, they just nail it.
Yeah.
So like Labor Day, this last Labor Day, I went and saw, I can't remember who the opening act was, but then the second act was Papa Roach, and then Shinedown was the main act.
Yeah.
I mean, in Shinedown, like I like a lot of their stuff.
Those are two bands I never really got into.
Yeah.
Just because like they were.
Those are hard. Those are rock.
Yeah.
Groups and a little bit. I don't want to say hard rock. Shinedown's not really hard rock. Papa Roach to me is a little bit harder.
But those were bands that were like always at Rockfest.
Yeah.
And I just like there was something about Rockfest that just always just kind of like no.
And
I'll never go.
I went to 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
The first one being, and that's when I found Shinedown the first time, and I'm like, oh yeah, this band's great. But then, like I was saying, like concert I just went to, Papa Roach and Shinedown. Like I went more for Papa Roach because I do really enjoy Papa Roach. Shinedown I'm fine with, but I wanted to see Papa Roach. So, excuse me, like I ended up saying for the whole show.
Was that a burp or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
That's sad.
Now we're getting back to me not being very good at belching again. But yeah, so it was. I could have left after Papa Roach, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stay, watch the whole show, and like there were some Shinedown songs that they played. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot this was even a Shinedown song, or oh shit, I forgot about this song.
Yeah.
So like that was cool. But Papa Roach, like I know a lot of their stuff.
Yeah.
And I've seen Papa Roach at Rockfest as well, but I've seen In This Moment at Rockfest and seen Hailstorm at Rockfest. I went to the Rockfest where they had Tech Nine there too.
Yeah.
And people were like, what the hell? Like, why do you have a rap artist at a rock? Well, you got to think about it. A couple episodes ago, we were talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where rap falls under rock.
Which it still doesn't make sense. Just have an overall Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's just bust it off. Hey.
We do have multiple. Yeah.
Giggity.
Yeah, Connor's got to learn a new button.
Yeah, I got to learn the new button.
Giggity. That was a quick giggity too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Giggity.
Giggity. Giggity.
Well, I think so. If you hit it multiple times, maybe it'll.
Giggity.
You can't just.
No.
Giggity. 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 You just got to get the timing down. Where you can just go giggity, giggity, giggity.
Yeah. That's a good one. I like that one.
There you go. I spent some time looking for that one just for you.
Thanks.
Well, we talked about that, and that was actually one of our reels too that I posted.
Really? Giggity?
Yeah, that was the last reel. For episode 5 or whatever.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that was the sound clip I took out of it.
Giggity.
Where we were both their ear hole, or both your ear holes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Giggity.
Yeah. And then we thought about we should get giggity on the freaking thing. And so I did it. We still, of course, have the phrasing ones.
Yeah. Got 2 of those. But.
So, all right. Well, we're about. I think you finished your beer. Let me finish.
I did. Yeah.
It's
okay.
It's okay. Again,
not bad for.
Martin City is Martin City.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like what some of the bands like. Metallica is Metallica.
Yeah.
Like they were great.
Some people are going to like it, and other people are just going to think it's okay.
Yeah. And I mean, Martin City does it great at what they do, but we've had this conversation. Sometimes there's other better things out there.
Yeah, they can't all be zingers.
All right. So I'm going to pop. Which one's this one? Ooh, this is the We'll avoid that one. It's got lactose.
Oh, good call. Good call, my man. I appreciate you looking out, buddy.
I'm like, ooh, yeah, this has lactose. No, anybody that doesn't know, Keller can't do lactose.
Yeah, nope.
At least not much. But then, this one's not good.
Is that a big boy?
Yeah, it is. This is, so Nigel, our good buddy and taproom manager and has his own podcast, Beers with Nigel. He went to Strange Days here in Kansas City, Strange Days Brewery. And
this is one of our sensory beers.
Yeah, this is supposed to be one of our sensory beers.
Yeah.
So we should probably dive into this one a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it is called Live Deliciously. Is that the name of it? It is. All right. So it is an imperial pastry stout with coconut, almonds, and cocoa nibs.
Cocoa.
What do you think the ABV on it might be?
I know I've seen it. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's like 9.5%.
You might want to go a little bit higher.
12.3.
12.4.
Wow.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's dive into that one.
All right, here we go. 1:40 in the afternoon, folks.
1:40 for us. It might be
Whatever other time you're listening, it's that time.
See how crisp we can get it.
Ooh. Oh boy. Oh boy. It just it kind of exploded a little bit. Damn, that is dark. Wow. That just looks like chocolate. I'm excited to try this one.
This pour's gonna suck because I got beer.
Yeah, that's all right.
It didn't like explode.
Better than on your keyboard.
But yeah, exactly. It didn't explode, but it
was
popped off.
Yeah, the head was just waiting.
Giggity.
You're not even gonna. You're just gonna straight.
Yeah, just giggity now.
Like, hey, phrasing doesn't even exist anymore.
Okay, I gotta memorize. So I've got this one, that one. Okay. Man,
I might have to reorder those to help you out.
That is wild looking. Oh, look at those dregs. Oh, that looked gnarly.
Guess that'll be my glass then. I was almost thought about I shouldn't finish pouring the whole thing, but yeah.
Do we need a break so you can?
No, it'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Well, you got sticky hands, Brian. Just go rinse your hands.
All right. Well, what are you going to talk about then while I'm gone?
I'll just hit the pause button.
It's not a pause button.
Well, it's you know what it is.
Uh-huh.
I can't just talk to myself.
Why not?
Because I mean I have mental conversations, but
Yeah, because sometimes when you want to have a good conversation, right?
yeah.
But let's get into this, and then we only need to go a little bit longer, and then we'll be done.
Crazy.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. There we go. All right. And then I'll clean up the mess. It'll be fine.
Well, cheers.
Cheers again.
This looks wild.
This head is still on that
I know
thing.
that
Oh
head
my
retention is crazy. Whoa.
God. I pick up a lot of that coconut.
Yeah, me too.
Little oxidation though.
Yeah.
But it
Coconut, cacao, and what else?
Here, you want me to grab it? Is that way you don't make a mess?
Almonds.
Okay, now maybe I'm
Yeah,
confusing the
that's what
almonds with the
yeah,
oxidation.
it's-
There's
it's-
no way this
Yeah,
is
no,
oxidized already.
it's kind of nutty.
It's
Hey yo.
All right. I mean, yeah.
You cannot see through
You
that.
cannot
Whoa.
see. I need to get better. Cheers in the mic there.
Yep. Cheers in the mic.
I mean, it is absolutely a stout.
That is imperial.
I mean, I'm not getting any I'm not seeing any sediment on it though either.
Well, you can't see through the damn thing. That's why.
It's not black though. It's just like
Might as well be.
It might as well, but it is like a really dark brown. That head, still good head retention on the thing. Because god dang,
Wow.
it is coating the glass for sure.
That is coconut.
Oh man, I'm probably not gonna like it then. I'm not a big fan of coconut. But that head,
It tastes like a cookie.
dark brown.
It kind of reminds me of like a caramel delight.
I was gonna say like the caramel delights from
The Girl Scout cookies. Yeah. You get the caramel, you get the coconut. You
It's
get-
not bad.
Yeah.
I'm not. Again, it's not one I'm gonna probably order a lot of
Yeah.
because again, I'm not a big coconut fan though either.
Yeah. And it's also a fucking It's a rich beer.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
rich.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this mess you made.
Yeah. Luckily, we're in my place then.
Yeah.
I'll clean it up later. I mean, I finally got the other keyboard kind of fixed. I just haven't plugged it back in yet.
Did you put it in rice?
Yeah, it was
No.
fine. Keyboards, you don't really need to put in rice.
I mean,
Depending on what type of keyboard you have. That keyboard, I'm not concerned about.
hey, rice is nice.
And honestly, I didn't spill as much on that as I thought I did.
Yeah, it looked like you spilled.
It went all past it.
Yeah. Miraculously.
Yeah, well, I think it's just the way I hit it and the way it laid over and
Yeah.
how quickly I was able to grab it and whatnot. So, yeah, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So that's not a bad beer though.
That's not bad
At all. So I mean, Nigel knows how to pick some good stuff.
It's definitely a dessert beer to me.
Oh yeah.
It's a dessert beer.
God, can you imagine like some of the freaking chocolate cakes that we've had? I mean, again, I don't eat a lot of chocolate cake, but you know, being at transparent, like I've tried some of the desserts.
Yeah.
Mostly the
Oh, this would go great with the
beef though too.
with the bread pudding.
Oh yeah, that would. I
do.
haven't had any
I'd
bread
go well.
pudding in a long time.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah. But you know, it is what it is. I don't know what I was getting ready to say next.
Neither do I. I mean, I guess we kind of touched on overrated bands. I was just gonna do a quick.
Did you think of anything else then?
Um,
While I end up covering, anybody else popped to your mind? I mean, but this has been a good episode. You know, we've discussed. This is like Olympic sounding music.
oh, Kiss. Kiss is overrated.
Yeah.
I cannot stand. It's not that I cannot stand them, but I just overrated.
What they do, like the music is great. It's the people or person.
There are some. So I just did a search here, and we've discussed a few of these bands already.
Go for it.
Oh, I forgot about Nickelback.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're just. But I mean, you can't like it's.
You can't deny what they've done though.
Yeah, they are wildly successful.
Yes.
More successful than I'll ever be in my life. So
Oh, yeah.
I can't really dog
Well,
on them,
and
but it's making fun of them and shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
You know,
And I've had lots of friends that are like, oh, I won't listen to anything Nickelback related.
Aerosmith is overrated too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were great in the beginning. And again, that might be one of those things where it's based off
Coldplay's
of
overrated.
who?
Coldplay.
Coldplay. Yeah, I can see that. But the Aerosmith, I feel like that's one of those ones where it's like our parents probably think Aerosmith's great.
Oh yeah.
But then like for us, it's like, oh yeah, they're overrated.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna Kiss. I totally forgot about Kiss.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how. I'm surprised Gene Simmons hasn't somehow popped into our podcast and said something Donald Trump like. Trying to get that Coke scream, are you? One of the things I was going to say though, on the Nickelback thing, I had some friends when I worked in a warehouse that they would veto every single, like when we were listening to music, you know, over like, you know, speaker or whatever. If it was Nickelback, somebody'd come running.
I don't know
to
about
change.
this song. This one's weird.
Somebody would come running to change the next song. But then, what is it? My Darkest Days? Porn Star Dancing?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, this song's great except for Chad Kroeger. And then I'm like, I had to tell them, I'm like, you realized My Darkest Days was discovered by Chad Kroeger. They're like, well, shit, now I don't like Darkest Days anymore. I'm like, all right, sorry about your luck. I mean, still a good song.
Sorry about you.
It's like, I mean, and that's one of those things, like, there's people that are, there's groups that are overrated, and sometimes because of the people in them. Like,
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson, freaking weirdo,
Yeah.
has made some great music, though.
Well, John 5, his guitar player, is just incredibly talented.
Well, and John 5 is Rob Zombie's guitar player,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And has done his own albums of just guitar stuff.
Oh, the dude is a fucking.
He's beast.
He's a virtuoso, man. He's really good, and I think he's severely underrated
oh, yeah.
as a guitar player
Yeah.
and a
that's-
songwriter.
And then kind of going back to Avenged Sevenfold, like, some of the people in the band
Yeah.
are great.
Yeah. What's the guitar player's name? I wanted to say The Edge, but that's
No.
you too.
Crap, I'm like, I just had it and I freaking blanked on it. But then, like, his dad was the guitar guy for Jeff Dunham.
Okay.
So the guitar guy, like, he would do his own. Like, I went to a Jeff Dunham act, and like where you got to see more of just a guitar guy. And this was years and years ago when guitar guy and Jeff Dunham were touring, and he would Jeff Dunham would bring a guitar guy up.
As a performer, I'm gonna say Jeff Dunham's overrated. Like,
he was great in the beginning.
He was like Larry the Cable Guy. He had his moment.
Yeah.
And then he tried to force that moment for way too long.
And I thought of this earlier, and I didn't say it, but it's one of those things where it's like either you die a hero or you live long enough to be a villain.
Wasn't that from Batman?
Something, basically. But
you didn't come up with that. That was Christopher Nolan's brother, I do believe.
When I say I thought, it came to my mind. It's not like I just thought of this.
I just thought of this.
But no, it is definitely something that I feel rings true.
Yeah,
where it's one of those things where sometimes it's like you do die a hero, or you live long enough to become a villain. Yeah, you don't like some of the freaking comic book movies. You keep pushing it. It's like, all right, now you're starting to fucking kill it.
I've got superhero fatigue from movies. You know.
Yeah.
I'm only excited to see Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, I could give a shit less about another. Like, they're talking about doing Iron Man 5 or 4. And
it should be 4.
It's 4, yeah. And Robert Downey Jr. is going to come back and reprise his role.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I will say, I really liked Robert Downey Jr.
It resurrected his career.
Oh yeah, and that's who he is now.
Yeah,
he's not Iron Man. He's become Tony Stark because I mean, again, Robert Downey Jr. was basically on the outs of Hollywood because he got himself in so much trouble.
Yeah, with his addiction shit,
and
just kind of being a dick.
Being given a chance to do Iron Man, he grasped a hold of that and knew that it was his last probably option. And look at what he's done. You know, like the Sherlock and you know other things.
And now he was in Oppenheimer, and his role in Oppenheimer.
Exactly. And
really
I started to watch it. I just haven't finished.
Well, yeah. I mean, do you have 3 hours to set aside to watch
one of the reasons why I
dialogue-heavy movie? Like, oh my god, it's a good film, but like, it's slow.
Yeah,
it's slow.
I mean, like, and Chris Evans was great as Captain America, but I felt like that got overdone.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
Now Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, he's done great with that because
that's him.
That's him.
That's his comedy.
But he's not overdoing it.
No, he's only done 3 movies. I mean, as Deadpool,
Deadpool. Yeah. But then, like, he's not using that notoriety now to overplay anything.
Yeah.
You know, he's just, I feel like Ryan Reynolds he works his ass off, but he also, I feel like he does kind of stay humble on a lot of stuff too. And Hugh Jackman's been the same way, where like, he's this huge star and, you know, done Wolverine and done so many
other things. Yeah. And he's good in everything he does.
But I feel like he's one of those people that stays grounded.
Yeah.
So like, and I think I've talked about this on the show before, John Leguizamo. Love John Leguizamo. Not when he's talking politics.
Yeah.
I love him as an actor, but in the last decade, he's gotten very political.
Yeah.
Maybe he was before, he just didn't vocalize it as much.
Yeah.
But he's started vocalizing it more, and I'm just like, all right, now I'm starting to pull back, and I'm just like, like, I'll watch you in movies and shows or whatever, but if it's like they even had him, he's done guest spots on The Daily Show.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't know, man. Celebrities and political opinions. I mean, we're going to hear more and more about it with it being an election year. So
I know, it's brutal.
Just strap on or in.
I mean, and
phrasing.
There you go. And I will say, as I'm getting older, like, I'm starting to understand, like, I need to be a little bit more knowledgeable on politics. But it's just like, I am not a political person.
Neither am I.
But I'm learning, like, I need to be.
It's the local
active
stuff. It's the local stuff that counts more than the national shit.
Because like I was just talking to somebody recently, and they're like, oh, you know, you're probably this. I'm like, I'm getting more into it, and mostly because of the local stuff, like presidential stuff.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Like,
they both suck.
Yeah. It's like, which piece of shit do you want more?
Yeah. Because somebody's like, oh, you probably voted for Trump. I'm like, yeah, because I didn't want the other person in. I didn't want him in.
Yeah, this is probably the 2 worst options we've ever had.
Yeah.
And it's a repeat of 4 years ago.
Which is almost pretty much a repeat from 8 years ago
Yeah.
when it was Hillary and Trump.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
The two-party system's broken, man.
yeah. And this is one of those things like I've learned and I've said multiple times. It's like our forefathers would be pissed if they knew we were only on a two-party system.
Yeah.
That was one of their goals, is to not have a two-party system. And one of the things I learned, I'm like, well, how did they do, presidential elections beforehand? Whoever got runner-up was the vice president.
Yeah. God, could you imagine that?
Well,
Nowadays, if it was like Trump as
nothing would get done.
Nothing would get done.
Because they would always be trying to outdo each other
Yeah.
or undermine the other
Yeah.
person. And so I can understand why they went away from that. But now it's like they're still always trying to undermine each other.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Here we are, man. I'm just ready for it to be over with.
Yeah. And a solid third party is never going to grasp a hold of anything.
But we have to make it happen, though.
It does need to happen. Absolutely.
And it comes down to the population of being willing to write in or vote for third party candidates.
At least it's got to start somewhere. And I think
it's got to start somewhere.
I think it's started.
Yeah.
It seems so minimal.
But the worry is, well, the argument is, if you write in a third party, it's going to take away a vote from blank and give it to the other nomination. But like, that's what needs to be done, unfortunately, to start change.
Well, and that was that thing, when Trump got elected the first time, or I guess his only time so far.
Yeah.
That if Hillary and Bernie one of them wasn't in there, would that have changed the outcome?
Yeah. Because,
a handful of people were voting for Hillary, a handful of people were voting for Bernie, and then a bunch of people were voting for Trump, right?
Yeah.
So, like, okay, if you combine those two, Hillary and Bernie Sanders, would that have swayed?
I don't think so.
I don't think it would have.
I don't think it would have
swayed it, no.
If either of them bowed out and was just like, I'll pick up the vice president ticket on your ballot, I don't think anything would have changed.
I don't think it would have changed, no. If anything, it probably would have ended up becoming more lopsided.
Yeah. Towards
the Trump side, but
wow, we got away there from.
I know, like one of those things that I never thought we'd discuss in here.
Politics.
It only took us 7 episodes, apparently. So, for future reference, though, we are not going to turn this into a political podcast.
No, we are not, because I don't have a whole lot to say about that other than support your local elections. That's
it's more about the local stuff, like your school board stuff and stuff like that. The important things for local communities,
because that's where you make the change.
Yeah. All right. Wow. We should probably end on that.
What just happened?
Well, let's just go ahead and end on that.
End on that. How do we recover from that?
I don't know. Maybe we just end it. But the next episode, what I think what we should talk about.
We only had like one thing that we talked about that we were going to talk about. Right?
But I think that's not a bad thing.
I don't think so either.
No, like if you have one solid topic for the whole episode, that's good.
And then we just go off on tangents like we did just now,
as if we're here in the bar, right?
Yeah. Crazy how that works.
No, it is weird. So I think the next episode, though, what we should talk about, and this has been a hot topic, especially in the Kansas City area of late, for multiple things.
I think I know what you're going to say.
The stadium parking, and
just
stuff.
The whole stadium thing in general.
Yeah, I think so. A little teaser for the next episode, then.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, with that being said,
thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening. And we'll catch you guys
on the flippity flop
on the next episode.
On the next episode.
Cheers.
Bye.